always growing, moving forward, knowing power's in the choices that you make.
Congratulations! Your journey is about to begin, and I am truly so excited for you. If you embrace Simply Woman in all its magnitude, it can and will be one of the most enriching and life-changing experiences you will ever take. It doesn't matter if you've done other diets before and they didn't work. It doesn't matter if your home gym equipment is collecting dust. Those things are done and behind you. Today is a new day and a new beginning. Embrace the tools in this program. They are there for a reason. Listen to your CDs. Listen to them in the car, listen to them while you're exercising. Follow the manual step by step, week by week, and slowly incorporate those changes. Do your workout video. Do it with intensity. Do it the best that you can do it. And that's all that you can ask of yourself. But stay focused, stay consistent, stay determined, and I guarantee you, success will be yours. I've done it. I have so many clients that have done it, and I know that you can do it too. Simply Woman, the 12-week Total Transformation Program, is a step-by-step, week-by-week, life-changing process that not only will get you in the best shape of your life, but you will feel amazing. Originally designed for my own journals and me taking back my own body and subsequently my life, I then began to train my clients with my philosophy. Before I knew it, I had an entire team of trainers, literally changing countless women's lives. I promise you, that when you begin to demand the most out of yourself, you begin to demand it out of life. And life will only give you what you demand of it. This Real Life Plan B helps you to pick up quicker when challenges come along. So when you're down in that valley, you're able to have the tools. This program gives you the tools to succeed, to pick up quicker, to pull yourself up that hill so that more and more often you're on the top of that roller coaster and not in the bottom. Those hills will come along. If you think they won't, then you're only fooling yourself. Life deals us challenges every day. And most often, it's not the big ones that we think are the things that set us back. It's the way we respond to every single daily challenges, the little daily choices we make. If you were to spend a week with the most successful person you know, you would realize they don't work any harder than anyone else. They are focused. They know what their objective is, and they make the tiny daily choices each day to bring about success. They don't get caught up in the dramas. They don't get caught up in their emotions. They don't get caught up in who's hurt them, who they're angry with. They stay focused. Focus is essential for success. Focus with the right plan of action guarantees success. Simply Woman is going to help you to look back, to figure out what's brought you to this point that you are today, because that's essential. And although many of us don't want to look back, we think looking back is going to dredge up painful memories. That's not what it's about. It's about figuring out what's brought you to the point that you are today. What are your fears? If you don't face them, you'll lose weight perhaps on this program. If you don't face the fears that you're holding within, that have held you back, they'll just begin to manifest themselves in a different way in your life. We all know what Plan A is. Plan A is sticking to that diet, eating perfectly, getting to the gym, hiring that personal trainer, doing your home exercise equipment every morning because you bought it and you have 6 pieces sitting at home. That's Plan A. But Plan A isn't real life. We need to have a Plan B. What happens when you wake up and your child has a chicken pox and you can't get to the gym for a week? Your boyfriend breaks up with you and you're devastated. It's easy to follow Plan A when life is going great. But this isn't what real life is. Real life is like a roller coaster. We're up, we're down, we have good times and bad. It's easy to be positive when life is going great. It's easy to be positive and follow that perfect diet when you're happy. But the difference between people that have long-term success and those that can temporarily lose weight is that they've developed a Plan B, a real life plan of action. What Simply Woman gives you is your real life plan of action. This program gives you real life solutions to be able to incorporate real life children, husbands, work, home, our emotional conflicts. Women are so emotional. To pick up a diet book, that's great, but women don't pick up diet books and follow them because they lack one really important, crucial ingredient. Acquiring internally motivated desire, relinquishing the need for approval in your life, and that's key. Most of us spend our entire life searching for approval and validation and worth.
I've worked with women for 15 years. I've developed this program for the last 7. I've been challenged in my own life. There's times I've been so successful, but I didn't necessarily feel happy. There were times that I was thin, but I didn't necessarily feel happy. What I finally have realized is that if I don't follow the plan that's right for me and not worry what everybody else in my life thinks, I will forever be dictated by searching for everyone else's approval. This plan helps you to figure out the plan that's right for you, to follow the path that's right for you, and I promise you, thin thighs are just a byproduct. If you focus on thin thighs, you will forever spend your life focusing on your weight. You will forever be preoccupied with the way that you look. It's wonderful to be able to get to the point that you can say, I could be better, I could be worse, but I'm happy right where I am. Like many people who stumble upon success, my plan was never to write a weight loss book or design a lifestyle management program. In my early 20s, I was filled with dreams of status and success. I managed a chain of health clubs. I competed in fitness shows like the Miss Galaxy. I was in magazines, on television. I was the cliche, perfect Barbie doll. On all outside appearances, I should have been so happy. I had everything that everyone thought would make you happy. A nice home, a climbing career, a great physique. I was successful, but something was always missing in my life. I was always looking for something more, but never really quite sure what that was or how to find it. So I decided maybe marriage and babies would make me happier, and everything I did with fierce determination. Within no time at all, I was married and pregnant with my first daughter. Soon, I knew I would be happy. In less than 1 year, I went from a 125-pound fitness model to a 200-pound overweight housewife. But I convinced myself that I was having a baby and that I would be happy. Soon I would have everything that I needed to feel loved, to feel happy, to feel worthy. I would no longer need approval from outside people because I had a baby. In a whirlwind, I was pregnant again, and in less than a year, I had 2 little babies. I was changing diapers, mopping spills, cleaning fingerprints, rushing around taking care of everybody else in my life. And although I was ecstatic with parts of my life and I loved my children, I was desperate. I was lonely. I was so discontent with what I saw in the mirror each day. I tried to convince myself that it didn't matter that I was no longer skinny. It didn't matter that I no longer liked the way I looked. But it was all that was, it completely consumed me. My breaking point finally came one night in February as I sat in my rocking chair nursing my daughter. As I looked down at her, I realized I was robbing my children of the I'm gonna cry. I realized I was solely and exclusively accountable for my life. It wasn't about cookies or chocolate. That was just the way it had manifested itself. I wanted to lose the weight, but more importantly, I needed to lose the preoccupation with the weight. I needed to make peace with myself. The next cold February morning, I climbed out of bed, I pulled on my shoes, and I headed out. Heaving as I ran up the road, I realized how out of shape I had become. I turned myself around, I came home, I sat down with a piece of paper and pen, and began a life-changing process. I asked myself, why did I care so much what people thought of me? Why did I need everyone to like me? Why was I holding myself back from all the things that I wanted for my life? And what did I really want? Many things were revealed to me that day. I realized I had spent nearly 30 years searching for validation and worth, searching for approval, and never once had I looked back, faced my own fears, figured out what I really wanted for my life, and began demanding the most out of myself. I realized that until I began to love myself, really love myself, I would forever be discontent. Things would come along and temporarily make me happy, but nothing would fulfill me for the long term. I realized that my weight that I put on wasn't about the food I was eating, it was about my discontentment with myself. I needed to find a way to make myself feel better, but really what I was doing was making myself feel so much worse. I was completely self-sabotaging my life. Work this program, and I guarantee it will work for you. Interwoven between the sometimes boring but important training and nutrition advice is all my clients' stories. A little inspiration, a little motivation, a little perspiration, but with determination, you can and will have the body and the life that you dream of.
I was considered unable to work for 10 years. My kids, I had two of my children who were, I guess at the time when I was sick. My youngest daughter, she's now 15. She was, I think, 2 or 3. She never knew her mom healthy and well. She only knew me on the couch, challenged. She knew Mom had trouble getting up the stairs. And I'm sorry, but it's just so, there's so much that's happened. And I left today on my way here. My daughter is just so excited for me to be here. And she says, Mom, you've come so far. And to see the light in her eyes and the wonder that she brought to me today, to say, wow, you've really done it. And I really truly feel complete inside.
With Anne-Marie, my daughter, when we finished the program, we had jumped on the coffee table and she looked at me. I said, today, do you know what today is? Today's the last day, and we did it. And we did do it. We did it as a family. I never thought that I would be able to be an inspiration to my kids. I have my Jonathan and Matthew and Anne-Marie, and they're the most wonderful things that have ever happened to me in my life. And to be there and to be that inspiration and for them to be proud of me, truly proud of me, that is what has happened for me.
I think what I've tried to do is to help women to realize that people are looking for some magic formula, something out there that it's within you. It's within you. And so what I've tried to do is I've tried to create something to say there are exercises laid out. And it's really essential that we do those exercises in this program, because that's what makes a big difference. I am still shocked when I meet someone new for the first time. And you were all there at one point. How oblivious many women are that their unhappiness with their bodies or their lives is about so much more than the food they're eating or the size they are. It goes so much deeper.
I've always sort of looked at people that, you know, felt sorry for themselves or had, you know, complaints about their lives as victims, but I didn't see that I myself was an actual fact a victim. I couldn't believe that I had anything to do with any of my unsuccessful relationships, my job, my career, I always thought it's somebody else's fault, it's not my fault. But
because you had all the answers. And you thought you had all the answers.
Well, I thought that my perceptions were the road to truth. I thought that I knew everything I needed to know.
Right. And I think that's the journey for all of us, is that one of the big things is our realization that truth really is only our perception of it. There is no real truth. It's the truth that's right for you. Mm-hmm. And what I've learned just with working with so many different women is that my path is the right path for me, and Roxanne's path is her path, and it's the right one for her. And when you find a place within yourself that you feel content, is that place where you realize you're actually following the path that's right for your life. Lisa has shared with me many times over this last while different changes that she made in her career. She went from different jobs and, you know, just trying to find, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with needing to find what's right for you, because at least we call that divine discontent. You weren't in a bad place, but you weren't in the place that you wanted to be.
I love life, but I didn't love me living life. I didn't know, I was just living it and not having a goal, not having a path. Remember we talked about when you have a goal and you have like a roadmap and you want to get there, but I was just going everywhere for the ride. But now I can go somewhere and say I got there, and now where? Where do we go now? Let's make plans, let's go.
You have to decide what it is you want for your life. There's many paths people take, but if it's not the path that's right for you, you will forever feel discontent. And when we feel discontent, nothing comforts us better than our comfort foods. Whatever it is that's your comfort, 90% of women are emotional eaters. And yes, they come in, and a lot of them, when they first sit down in the first couple of weeks of this program, they don't want to deal with the emotional part of it. They don't want to talk about their past. They don't want to face their fears. They don't want to talk about the things they feel that have held them back. They just want a new diet. They want some good exercises, because initially that's what most of us think it's all about. We think it's about following a new diet. We think it's about some new leg lift, some secret formula somebody has. It's about relinquishing the need for approval in your life. We are all here today because we decided we wanted to look better initially. And that's what brings a lot of people into this program, because they come to me and they say, you have this traffic light food system, you have this amazing workout, you know how to get people in great shape, I want to try your program. And that's a great place to bring them to me. And that's what this program does for a lot of women. It gets them looking their best. But looking your best is the beginning point. And the reason absolutely, and the reason that I say that, and I try to share it with women, is that there are not a lot of women that hate what they see in the mirror, but love their life. And so it's really essential that I say, let's start taking control of this. Each one of us can share that. Some of us, Roxanne has a great marriage and loves being a mother and has 3 wonderful children. But the bottom line is that's an accomplishment that's outside of just herself. And some of the things that she has accomplished now are so empowering, and she'll share that because it's her accomplishment. It's her and her alone. She chose to decide to take back control of her body.
And I took a look in the mirror one day and said, you know, I guess this is my life, you know, this is the way I look, this is the way it's going to be. And then I said to myself one day, no, this is not me, you know. And what inspired me was to go to the gym one day and saw Mary came up on the Lord and saw her looking her before and after, how well she looked. And I just looked at myself and said, I'd love to be like that. And I just said, no, yeah, sure. And then I talked to Crystal and she said, you can look like that. I go, yeah, sure. I wasn't quite sure. She tried to convince me and I wasn't quite sure, like, you know. So I said, okay, I'll take the big step, and I did it. And during that step, it was a lot of hard work, dedication. I stuck to it, and a lot of people couldn't believe that I did it. Well, I didn't know that it would actually take a big toll on me when I started. I knew it would change my life forever. I have 3 beautiful children and a family. And I thought I'd lost 38 pounds in 12 weeks, and I feel so much better about myself. I have passion to go out with my children and do things with my kids now instead of just lying around. And I can't help thank her for what she's done for me and changed my life. And I'm going to keep going and do whatever comes ahead of me and fulfill some more dreams that I would like to do.
It's about figuring out what's brought you to the point that you are today. What are your fears? If you don't face them, you'll lose weight perhaps on this program. If you don't face the fears that you're holding within, that have held you back, they'll just begin to manifest themselves in a different way in your life.
I'd been a heavy girl my whole life, really heavy. And I thought that was okay, and I lived through it and I went through it. When I was little, I read a book. It was called There's a Genie in My Toothpaste. And I thought, one day I'm going to find a genie and I'm going to get it out of the toothpaste and it's going to make me thin. And I'm going to have a good body and I'm going to be a pretty girl. And I never found that genie until I found Crystal. I say it a lot, and I say it to people all the time, and everybody in my life wants to meet Crystal, because I say, before I met her and before Simply Woman, my life was black and white, and then when I met Crystal, it was like the lights came on and I could see in Technicolor. My life has changed so much. I wouldn't be the person I am today. I wouldn't be sitting here. I wouldn't have what I have in my life right now if it weren't for her and if it weren't for Simply Woman. And there is nothing that I can say that will ever make sense to anybody. But my heart is filled, my life is better, and I'm changed completely. I do not live in fear anymore. I have taken my life and made it something, and I love me. For the first time ever.
What Simply Woman gives you is a real life plan B. Anyone can stick to plan A in the good times. But what happens when challenges come along? Challenges come along even for the thin and beautiful. Challenges come along for all of us.
I walked in and met Crystal and I thought I had confidence. I walked in there and we chatted, we laughed, and I thought, this is great. I love her and I love what she's doing and I want to work with her because I do work with you. And I didn't know that I didn't really have the confidence that I thought I could have. Because what she did for me was say, you know what, I had it on the outer shell, but I really didn't believe it. I didn't believe that I really had that confidence that
everybody thought I did. And now I'm finally tapping into it. And I'm still, you know, I still have my nervous moments, but I can now walk across and go to the bathroom in a restaurant without feeling so nervous, because that was a big thing for me. Was I'd make a girlfriend go to the bathroom with me, or I would just hold it. And now I can get up and walk across that floor. But after reading your program, the 12-week program, and realizing I owe it to myself to continue eating healthy so that I can keep this body that I worked so hard for, and the health that I have. And my energy levels are even more skyrocketing than before, and I have color and everything. It just, I feel really happy with myself.
When I finished the program and I finally realized that you could take it one step at a time and try to inspire some woman who's just at home and is challenged, and she's got the kids and her life is just day in and day out and wants it different. Every morning I would wake up, and I know she'd be doing that too. You know those moments where you wake up in the morning and you go, today, you know, today's going to be a day. Today is a day for me. I'm going to wake up today and I'm going to make a difference for me. And then life gets in the way. And problems happen. Husband, money, kids, food, and you just keep, and then food starts to become your friend. And you push away your other friends, because now you're not the 130 pound, you're not the 140 pound. Whatever the pounds are, you're in a place. For me, I was over 200 pounds. I didn't want to be out anymore. I didn't want to go and be with my friends. I completely became a hermit in my life. At one point, I don't know if you ever knew this, but at one point, I pulled my car out of the driveway on a snowy winter day and pulled it back down the driveway, so my family thought that I actually went out visiting and did something. I literally became a hermit in my life. And now I have an opportunity to just open up and help other women. And that's the biggest that your program's done for me.
I've always sort of thought, I know how I portray myself. I portray myself as somebody that has everything that they need and doesn't worry too much about anything, confident, strong. But underneath it all, was a big baby. And I lived sort of in a reactive state all the time. And anybody that sort of disagreed with me or their ideas were adverse to mine, I wouldn't even listen. There was no room for anybody's, how could I be wrong? And it's not even that I openly thought I was wrong. It's just a way that I'd always been. I would subconsciously shut down and wouldn't hear anything. And, you know, the way that I'd lived my life for a long time, like this program for me, How Simply Woman has really helped, is in the sense more for lifting emotional roadblocks. I really, I've come a long way in the last 10 months. I mean, when I first met Crystal, we definitely had an immediate connection. And she started to tell me a little bit about her life and her career and where she was, and I was just in awe of her. I was astounded by your achievements. And I remember saying to you that day, you are going to be incredibly successful. I'd never met anybody where I had known within myself that this was somebody that was a healer. There's one thing that I could say is you believed in me. And you know, we all of us, everybody that's watching now, a lot of it is for reasons of low self-esteem. You know, I never had a mom or a dad or a brother or a friend that ever once said that they believed in me. And so I just chose to be, I guess, sort of arrogant, you might even call it. But really, underneath it all, I wasn't. And Crystal really came out and she actually verbalized it. She said, I believe in you. You have all these things that it takes to be worthwhile.
And we don't have to control the outcome of every situation.
No.
We don't have to be right.
That's right.
And we can laugh at ourselves.
Yeah.
And because each time that we feel like we have to control the outcome of the situation, you simply can't. And that's a part of life. We can't control the outcome of the situation. And a big part of this program, even for myself, is that realization that I have no control anyways. So I've relinquished the need of having to control. And I think that's what each one of us have done, is that we've relinquished the need for having to control the outcome. And we're enjoying that journey along the way now. And being able to realize that I alone am enough. We're all enough. I believe in each one of you, but the point is, it's believing in yourself. Because it doesn't matter who believes in you. Until you believe in yourself, you will spend your life searching for it. And for most of us, we don't get it. And when we don't get that approval, we don't feel like we feel worthy, we don't feel, and this might seem heavy, but it's the bottom line. Any woman I know that's struggling with her weight, when we really get to talk, I say, you know, they'll start to tell me about the people that have held them back in their life, the relationships that have come into their life that they feel held back by. And I let them talk because they need to get that out. And we all need to. We all need to feel like there are things that have not been great in any one of our lives. And there are people that may have hurt us, really have hurt us, but we can't let those things hold us back. And once you start to realize that this is your life, and we are totally accountable for our choices, for our reactions, for how we deal with every situation, that's the only time you start to feel like you're actually taking control just of you, because that is the only thing we have control over. We have control over what we put into our mouths. We have control over what we do with our bodies. We have control over how we're going to react to situations. We have control over if we're going to live with fear. And that fear carries over and into every area of our life. And although this originally started as a weight loss program, this isn't about weight loss, is it?
But it's not only the emotional side of it. It taught me how to eat.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to eat.
No.
I didn't know about carbs. I didn't know about protein. I didn't know about any of that stuff.
Load?
Exactly.
And how those things affect your moods.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't just about being emotional. The whole truth is, food completely affects our hormones. Sugar is a drug. There's so many things that as we start to understand the way our body metabolizes foods, there is a reason that you're depressed. There's a reason that you have heartburn. There's a reason that you can't get through a day. There's a reason that you're grumpy. And when you can now start to understand your blood sugar levels, or you start to understand what protein does, how it makes you alert, when you start to understand that there are different types of fats, and these fats do different things within your body, when we start to move our bodies, you know, it becomes addictive. Whatever we do becomes our habit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so once we start moving our bodies, then our bodies need it and crave it. And I remember when Kelly and I first met, her saying to me, "You're telling me the day is going to come where I won't want a pizza?"
I'm not gonna. No way. That's what I said.
No way.
I'm gonna always want pizza, of course. And now, pizza's good. Don't get me wrong. But I couldn't care less if there was no pizza shortage for the rest of the world. I wouldn't care. I don't need anything like that. I don't. And I used to eat junk food.
And it's, you know, I think it's a big thing. And you know, you can once we get into the program and you know, people start doing it, they'll realize that it's when anything has a hold over you, whether it's pizza, whatever it is. And so although this program is designed to get you looking better and feeling better, when you can realize that you don't have to let anything have a hold on you, that is when you feel powerful. So that you can still have that pizza, and you can still go for a decadent dinner, and you can still have a glass of wine, and you can still go out on a Friday night, because that's balance, that's the reality, that's the real life plan B. Because to say I'm gonna live on a diet of 800 calories a day and I'm not ever eating carbohydrates again is ridiculous. It's not real life.
But you start to make healthier choices going through the plan.
For the majority of the time.
So if there's a time that you have to go out for a dinner date or something, that you know how to eat properly. And if you want to have that little cake, that's okay, but you know that you had dinner and you had a very good meal and salad, oh, that little piece of cake's not really going to hurt you, you know. But you're still having you're eating properly still.
Absolutely. And the thing that I try to stress all the time to my clients, it's what you do the majority of the time. Success in any way, whether it comes through your body, in your career, with your relationships, with your family, with the people that you love, it's what you put in the majority of the time. It's not the 20%, it's %.
Many years ago, I tried any product, pills, it worked but after I quit, I gained more and more. So one day I saw somebody at the gym and I was looking at her. So I didn't know her at all. So I asked the girl, who's that? That's a trainer. What's her name? Crystal. And finally, I make an appointment with her. And I met her in the office and she talked to me and everything. So I asked her, are you sure I will lose that weight before I'm going on my trip? And Crystal said, yes, you will. So I get in the program. But after a few weeks, I could see myself melted. So I say, yeah, melting, I'm melting. So I say, wow, what I'm doing. I was really happy. I feel great, feel young, more energy. I have a lot of energy. I can't stop. I have to go, 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 go. And I would like to thank you, Crystal. You helped me. Now I'm ready to help more people at the gym. They stop at me and say, you look great, what do you do? And I say, well, I'm talking like about food and everything. I say, oh, I learned a lot, because before I didn't know nothing. Now I know a lot and I have to learn a lot. So
when you started writing your program, you have week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. We go all the way along. The way I like to refer to it is as a roadmap. So it was my little roadmap. And what happens is, and this is the way I like to describe it. Here's week 1, we start out, we're all excited in any diet, any weight loss program, right? We know we're on. And all of us know when we should eat, when we should sleep, we know we should work out, we know we should walk, we know we should take care of ourselves and eat healthy and not eat
plan A.
cookies.
That's plan A that we talk about.
Right. And so then here's our plan A, and that's what we do. And we go hard and strong, and we'll go for 2 or 3 weeks. And why is it that inside we stop? After 3 weeks, we all have little books in our shelves. I've got every book that there can be. And then some.
I've done all the diets.
And the money that we've spent, right? So what your program has done for so many girls is we have a roadmap. So here's Florida, and Florida is my goal, right? You used to tell me, that's my destination. It's just like if we go and say, you know what, guys, we're going to go to Florida. And when we go to Florida, we're not going to bring a map. We're just going to stop every once in a while and ask at a gas station and hope we get there.
What are the chances?
Yeah. Right. But with your program, each week is layered. You know, with all of the women that you worked with, that by week 4 or week 6, we may be a little challenged and we need to be assured that this is okay and this is what you may be feeling right now.
And you're normal.
It's your roadmap. And it's your roadmap to nutrition, to how we should be doing our cardio, our walking each day, or whatever level we're doing of intensity. Absolutely. Right? So that's what I think is really important. That's what it started out as.
Absolutely, and we talk about that roadmap, and I use that example all the time. When I first meet a client or someone first starts our program, and I say, you wouldn't just get in your car and drive aimlessly, but how many of us are just going through life with no destination, no plan? We don't even know where we're going, and we wonder why we're so discontent, because we have no plan. And if we don't get quiet enough and figure out where is it I want to go, what's the fastest, most direct route to getting there? What are the chances of ever arriving? That's right. It's wonderful to be at a place where we feel like this journey isn't over. Yeah. I have new journeys I'm going to take, new destinations I'm going to find, but I now know how to create that plan of action. I have the tools now to accomplish anything. This is just the starting point.
It's not about the weight loss. It's not about that, but that's where so many people are interested.
Well, that's
I want to get there. I want to get there.
It's like anything. If you don't visualize where you want to be, whether it be your career, if you don't say to yourself, I want to be in this position 5 years from now, how can you obtain what you can't visualize? Well, it's the same thing in everything.
This goes further than goal setting. This really does, because goal setting is great, and there's a lot of people that goal set, but goal setting without a proven formula leaves you feeling like, I set all the goals. Now, how do I get there? Yeah. So this gives you the car, the gas, the map. This is the map that gets you to your, that's right.
Excitement on the way.
Yeah, and we realize that detours are going to occur, just like if you're taking a map and you realize, oh, there's a construction site. And that's okay, because I know detours occur in life, but I'm continuing knowing where I'm going. I know I'm going to get there. There's no sweat. I just, take this detour, and you pick back up and you continue on. We all have setbacks in life. How many of us, each one of us, every woman I've ever worked with tells me about different stories and setbacks and challenges. And it's not about being thin, because I've met women that are thin and beautiful who are just as challenged. Obviously, it's not about that. But bottom line is, if you're 200 pounds and you don't want to be there, that's the starting point. Let's get you down to where you want to be, and then let's take the next milestone and the next one. Your body is your vehicle for being. And if your body doesn't work right, what are the chances that anything else in your life can work properly either? They can't.
It's like we set the tone in the home very often. We hate to say that to our guys, but it is true. They know if we're in a good mood, boy, everything else has to follow.
Women are the emotional centers of the home. When we're happy, our homes are happy. And when we're not happy, our homes aren't happy. And what this has done for so many of us, and so many of the women that I've worked with, is they're saying, I like my husband again. I have joy to spend time with my children again. This isn't about a simply woman, we don't like men. This is saying...
It's no longer laying blame on anybody else.
Absolutely.
Taking control of
And we don't
yourself.
want to hear that, do we? No one wants to hear that in the beginning, to say, so I don't tell anyone that in the beginning. But eventually it's laid out in such a gentle way, in such a progression that you're losing weight and you're feeling good and you're starting to have energy and you're and we're starting to realize that I need to do this work on me. And then maybe if I'm not in the right situation, if I'm not in the right career, if I have things that I need to work on in my marriage, but if you focus on everybody else, it takes the focus off you, and then we never have to fix ourselves. And I don't mean that we need fixing, but what we need to do is we need to first work on us. When we're happy, everything else falls beautifully into place.
Absolutely, and it gives you, I didn't have energy. Roxanne was saying she didn't have energy, and the whole thing is that we didn't know how to have the energy. We didn't know how to fuel our bodies with the proper nutrition and how to work out. I mean, you don't have to be a fitness fanatic. You don't have to be running marathons and stuff like that.
We're talking.
But I wasn't able to even, like, I would have walked on the treadmill, and now I am running on it and running in the morning and stuff. And before, if someone had said that to me, I would have gone,
never. I don't run. How many women? I think every one of us when we started said, oh, I don't run. I don't know how to run. I can't. I don't know how to squat. I don't know how to move my body. No, I don't do that. My body doesn't work that way. Right. And when you start to realize God designed your body perfectly, and it knows how to do these things. To be functional.
You gave us confidence in that, because I remember there was a time when I was first starting and you would say, okay, I want you to run for 5 minutes, and that would go on for a couple weeks or so, and then you would say, okay, now we're going up to 10. I go, I can't do that. And you go, yeah, you can. I go, no, I can't. And you convinced me that I could do it. And you know what? Then it worked up and it's like, yeah, I can do that.
You know, a silly analogy. It might be a silly analogy maybe, but for those of us that have had children, while you're pregnant, you think, I can't do that. I'm not. We do it. We can do a lot of things. The power of our mind is much stronger than we realize. And really what this is saying is there's only one reason you can't do something, because you don't believe it. When you change that and you start realizing that you can do anything, it is such an awesome realization.
And the more you do it.
And the more you do it, it becomes habit, natural. It's not work anymore.
Also, somebody else believing in you that you can do it too. You think, oh no, like I said, I couldn't do any of this. And
Very
yeah,
good
you
point.
can. And even when I got to working at really heavy weights and stuff like that, she would say, you could do it. I go, do you realize how much weight is here? And she'd say, yeah, you could do it. I go, no, I can't. And then you did it. It's like, she'll say one more and you know you're really tired and you can't do it. She'll say one more and you would do it. Absolutely. It's like, where do you get that strength to do it? And you just do it.
And I say a lot of times for all of us, when I'm out alone, whether it's a walk, a long walk or a run, and that's not something everyone has to do, but this is truly a metaphor for life. It's up to you on your own 2 feet to get you to wherever it is that you want to be. And each time that I now hit milestones, I mean, there's things that I'm doing now in my life that 6 months ago I wouldn't have had the courage to do. So this is a journey for all of us, and we're just continuing to conquer these roadblocks, you know, that we talk about, and that's where it's huge, is that you start to realize that, you know, what used to take me 5 years to accomplish, I'm doing in 5 months. And soon I'll be doing it 5 weeks.
It's sort of like pushing out of your comfort zone. It's doing things differently.
You know, you could be 80 and still make changes in 2 months.
Yep.
You know?
But when you read the book and you read the part that I remember when I was going through it, and they would say, Krista would say, okay, read week 1, 2, 3, whatever it was. She would tell me actually before she, you know, would tell me to read it, and I would read it, and then I was like, that's just like me. Yeah. I couldn't believe that this is me, you know, this is what I'm doing, or this is how her life is too. And every time I would read the weeks, I'm like, whatever she's saying is true, because you know, I'm reading it, and it's really happening to me.
And the funny thing is, and even as I joke and say we're so different than men, we're all human beings, and we're all so much more alike than we realize, especially women. We have different stories and we come from different places, but we are so hard on ourselves and on each other. And when we can realize that we're not in competition, and we can learn from each other, and we all have something to share, that's what this entire program is. All the clients that I've worked with over the years, their stories are interwoven in between the training techniques and in between, and with my own. My success is a combination of all my clients. Really, all you women here today is what's made this book and this program what it is.
I chose this program because I wanted to do it in a natural way. Like, I didn't want to go somewhere where I had to take pills or anything like that. I just took it in a natural way. I saw a picture at the gym and I wanted to look like that, you know, and I felt that I could do it by, you know, I worked out, you know, 8 or 9 years and nothing ever happened, and I wanted to show that it will work naturally if you just follow the way you're supposed to. The plan tells you exactly how to do things, and I followed it, and 38 pounds lighter now, and I feel great.
Oh, it changed like everything. Like I could see my husband looking at me like more sexy, and like everything. Like usually I will go in bed with the light off. Now it's on. I don't care. I look great.
I think that's what it is. It's just realizing who you are inside and going, I want to change this for the better, and I don't want to change that because I love that about myself.
At 206 pounds, when you're curled up on the couch and you can't get away with anything, if you can think that you can't do it, you can do it. You take that step, make that decision, and move forward in your life because it's for you. You could be one who's sitting up and making a difference for yourself and your family and anyone else you want to take care of, but you are number one, and that's who you have to take care of.
This is a new beginning for you, and I know that you can do it. I believe in you, but more importantly, you need to believe in yourself. That is the most important ingredient of this program. Start believing in yourself. Belief is the foundation of all success. I'm going to see you in 12 weeks, and I can't wait to see the changes.
Simply woman, success seems always